Today we are looking at the DSD Assist suite of products suitable for beverage companies that help them increase sales, profits and control. Andrew, what is DSD Assist suite of products all about?
DSD Assist is a collection of products designed to improve the sales and distribution of product in food and beverage companies. We understand that it's a very complicated process for food and beverage, and so we've built some products specifically for that industry.
What makes the beverage industry so unique compared to, say, the bakery industry?
Well, the differences are actually quite large, a lot bigger than you perhaps might think. Bakery companies tend to deliver to the same customers pretty much every day because it's a fresh product. Beverage products, because they've got a longer shelf life, the orders tend to come in a little bit more randomly. Random's the wrong word, but they come in sporadically. So that means that the run schedule changes regularly. That means that optimization of the runs becomes more important in a beverage company than it does in a bakery company. Equally, consumers tend to like to buy their beverage products in a chilled fashion because they want to be refreshed. So that means that for a beverage company, managing the fridges in the store is important because that's a core part of their business.
So one of our aims is to process orders efficiently with the least amount of cost. How can DSD Assist help with that?
Okay, so there's several ways that beverage companies tend to get orders. They might have customers placing orders on the web, and if they're dealing with the route trade, they're often dealing with small cafes and restaurants. Those orders are often placed on a mobile phone. So we need a very efficient phone ordering system so that a customer can place an order within, say, 30 seconds. Secondly, in terms of getting orders, some companies use sales reps out in the field to get orders. Some consumers like to be visited that way. So we need to have all the right tools for the sales rep to allow them to do that. And the third way that orders are gathered in a beverage business tends to be in a van sales environment where you've loaded stock onto the truck and the sales rep in the truck visits the customer, finds out what they want, delivers and invoices then and there.
So let's take a closer look at some of the outcomes. In business, we want to increase sales, which can be done by either selling more to existing customers or finding new customers. How can DSD Assist help?
Well, I've yet to come across a beverage company that doesn't want to increase sales, I've got to say. So how DSD assists in that, let's look at each one of those two in turn. In terms of finding more customers, for instance, on our tablet solution that a sales rep might use, we've got a function there that actually goes and finds other cafes or bakeries or stores nearby to where the sales rep is so they can go and prospect them while they're in the area. And it's an easy process then for them to turn those prospects into customers and place an order for them. In terms of selling more to existing customers, then we've got a variety of different tools to allow us to do that. For instance, again, in our sales repping tool, we are able to find the top products that other similar stores are purchasing that this one is not. So that creates an upsell opportunity for the sales rep to talk about. And we can also create templates, both in the web ordering for the end customer and in the sales repping tool of products that we actually want to push into that store as well. So the person is reminded to order them.
There are hundreds of web ordering apps out there from many different companies. What makes DSD Assist different?
It was designed from the ground up for food and beverage companies. And we understand that food and beverage companies tend to deliver to the same customers every Tuesday, the same customers every Wednesday, the same customers every Thursday, for instance. So I don't want a Thursday delivery customer placing an order for delivery on Monday, because that then, while we might have got the order at a low cost in terms of the processing cost, we're going to blow up our logistics costs. So that's inefficient there. So in our application, for instance, when the end store places their order, we're checking the delivery schedule so they can only actually place orders for delivery on the days that's sufficient for the logistics team. Equally, we have a template, as we've talked about before, so that the customer can actually place the order really quickly and easily, getting upsell advice, products that you're promoting in, might be seasonal products, really easily. The store can retrieve invoices and proof of deliveries from their phone without having to call the office. That makes a nice tidy solution, drives cost out of a beverage company's business.
DSD Assist can really help in making that sales collection process nice and efficient, whether it be for large orders, small orders, new customers or existing customers. But what about managing fridges?
Well, fridges is a core part of a beverage business's operation. So anytime we touch a customer, so that's a sales rep or a delivery driver or a van sales driver, we can actually pop up on the screen what fridges the store should actually have. So that in the first instance allows us to verify that it's actually there. You'd be surprised how often they're not there. Having verified it, that's great. We can also update the details if the serial number is incorrect or something like that. But if we find an asset in store, find a fridge in store that we didn't actually know was there, we can update our database right away. So that's improving the quality of our database. And secondly, if we come to another store, to a store who doesn't have a fridge, but would actually like a fridge, then we can actually create a new placement request and have the store owner sign off on their terms and conditions right away. And then it can then get verified in your office as to whether the sales uplift is going to justify the placement of a fridge.
Now we've received orders through DSD Assist. Now what happens?
Okay, so the orders would typically get pushed into the company's ERP system so that they can get fulfilled in the warehouse. And the orders would also get converted out into delivery orders for us because the delivery driver needs to deliver them, or even it could be a hybrid model and it could be the van driver who's delivering them. So the orders end up in our portal allocated to the appropriate delivery driver because typically customers are aligned with a delivery driver with a run. A distribution supervisor can move orders between trucks if they need to, just using drag and drop, or they can call the optimization engine to optimize the delivery sequence, or indeed move orders between all the trucks based on an optimization algorithm to drive cost out of the logistics process.
The beverage industry is really looking for efficiencies. There's a lot of competition in that space at present. And there are also a lot of web apps available for managing deliveries. How does DSD Assist help?
Okay, so you're right that there are many applications for delivering products and packages to customers. DSD is designed from the ground up for food and beverage companies. So we load, for instance, the truck in reverse delivery sequence to make it easier for the driver. When we do the load, we can capture a load temperature in case you're having chilled products to ensure that you're in compliance with any obligations you have. When we make the delivery, again, we can check the temperature to ensure that we're in compliance with everything that we need to be in compliance with. We obviously track the drivers via GPS. If you're making unattended deliveries, we can use the GPS as a pseudo delivery confirmation. Obviously, we sign on glass and collect the delivery name as well. But interestingly, in this industry, a lot of customers are COD, cash on delivery. So within our application, we can have the driver collect payment, cash, check, or credit card. And we've recently introduced another module from a payment gateway that allows us to collect EFTPOS payments as well.
So you can collect those payments live?
Absolutely live. It does validation of the card details online, and the money goes into your bank account with whatever the settlement is from the credit card company. I think it's presumably overnight in most cases.
Van sales seem like a bit of a hybrid between the traditional sales rep and sort of delivery model. How does DSD Assist manage that process better?
Van sales is undoubtedly one of the more complex processes that the beverage companies will be operating because it involves a sales process. So the salesperson is a sales rep. It involves a delivery process so that means that they're also a delivery person. They're collecting payments, so it means that they're an accounts person. And they're doing merchandising in the store as well. So they're doing a bit of everything. Plus you've got a mobile warehouse because you've got inventory on the truck which is unsold. So you need to be tight on the security to ensure nothing goes missing. So van sales, the management of van sales is a very complicated process. In DSD Assist, we built a specific van sales module and van sales function to account for all of those sorts of things and to make it easy for the salesperson. So for instance, when he gets to store, we produce a list of all the products that the store has purchased before, because customers tend to buy the same products again and again. We make it easy for them to copy the order from last week to use as the basis for the order for this week, for instance, just as a couple of examples. And then obviously, the credit card payment process is still all in place, and they have to account for any customers they should have visited but they didn't. They have to account for any inventory at the end of the day that they take off their truck, any samples they've given away, any of that all needs to be accounted for.
So what's next when it comes to mobile solutions for the beverage industry?
I've been doing this for a long, long time, longer than I care to remember, but I'm still constantly amazed at the ideas that some of our customers come up with, and indeed have we been able to satisfy some of those with some good solutions. One that we're working on at the moment, for instance, is a product recall function. A number of fresh juice businesses have talked to us about wanting to be able to do a product recall when their van salesperson is actually in store. So we have all the data to do that, and that we know whether the customer has purchased orange juice before. We can then alert the van salesman to say the orange juice of this particular batch needs to get recalled, and ask them to check the fridge. So that's one example of something that we're looking to add in the relatively near term.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, if you want to find out more about DSD Assist, just visit them online at dsdassist.com.